everybody. I'm Mr. Smeltzer, and this is the Mount Lake Terrace High School shop safety video for the panel saw. So the panel saw is a really great machine for cutting large pieces of panels. Funny enough, panel saw. So in this case, we're going to be cutting this piece of plywood. It's not a great tool for things like 2x4s. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Okay? So some things you need to do. You need to set up where your cut is going to happen and make sure that your blade is going to cut on the line that you intend to cut. Right? This particular machine tends to drift down a little bit when you're not using it. And so before you even start the machine, you need to make sure the saw is above whatever material it is that you are cutting. Right? So if you look inside, you can see where the blade is now above the wood, and I can slide the wood back and forth underneath the blade to cut where I need to. Right? Sometimes this will drift down, and when I try to move my piece of wood in, it just hits the blade. Okay? So you want to make sure that your saw blade is up as far as you can so that you can adjust your panel to where you need to cut. Right? I recommend that you mark on your panel where you need to cut, and you can kind of see where the blade is actually contacting the wood as well. You also have some rulers and whatnot that are down here below that you can use to line up, although in the middle here you'll notice that the numbers are missing. Right? So you do have some nice rollers here, so it's really easy to move a panel back and forth. Right? Sometimes your piece of wood will want to drift out on you and sit out this way. You can use your foot to kind of push it in and make sure that it's nice and flush against the panel saw's rack and everything else. Right? You want to keep your hands and your body outside of these rails. Right? And once again, we have this cut path of where your saw is going to be going. You want to keep your body out of that path as well. Okay? So let's go ahead and come in here and look at the saw. This saw can cut both vertically, as it's set up right now to go up and down, or we can pull these pins out and we can rotate the saw, we can lock it in place, and we can run the saw side to side. Okay, so we have two options here for the saw. Most of the time you can usually cut your things up and down. When would you want to cut side to side? Well, maybe I have a really long panel that's less than a foot wide or so, and I want to cut that. Right, I can run it down below and I can get that cut. Okay. All right, so your on-off switch is right here. Right? Pushing down on it turns it off, which is the way most of our on-off switches work in this shop because it's easy to just slap it and turn it off. Okay, you have your handle here that you can use to actually control the saw. Okay, so as always, when I want to operate one of these pieces of machinery, I need to make sure I don't have any loose items on me. I don't have my necklace, my badges on, I don't have earbuds in my ears or anything else. Right? I don't have a baggy sweatshirt on, and so on and so forth. Okay. I'm going to grab my safety glasses, make sure they're on my eyeballs so they can protect my eyes. Right? I'm going to get my saw up, get my panel in place as to where I want to cut it. It is right there. Okay. I'm going to brace the panel that I'm going to keep with my foot and my hand. Right? Saw will get turned on. So notice when I made my cut, it was really easy for me to just try to push the saw through, right? Notice the tone of the saw didn't really change. You didn't hear it bog down, right? You let the saw do the work, okay? When you start to get in a hurry and you're trying to cut it really fast, you'll hear the motor of the saw bog down, right? And you're not going to cut as nearly as nice of a cut, okay? Also, I kept control of the saw until I was done, waited for the blade to spin down to where it stopped before I brought it back up to its storage position. Right. So as always, make sure you're watching these videos a couple times so that you get all the details. Make sure that you clean up your saw when you're done. So take your scrap pieces, make sure they go in the garbage. This saw in particular makes a lot of mess. So one of the things you can do is you can make sure the dust collection is on for this machine, and it will help clean up some of that mess. but you'll still have some things on your machine that you need to sweep up with a broom, and make sure all that gets in the garbage. All right, stay tuned for the next video. All right, have fun in the shop, be safe. We'll see you next time.